All right, it is 1:05, so we're going to get started. Welcome everybody to the second Residence Hall Town Hall. This one is being recorded for YouTube so that members of the university community who weren't able to make it can still receive an update. The number one question that I'm still getting from members of the university community is, will this really be done on time? And even when we say yes and we promise that it will, they're like, no, but really. So to give us an update on construction and whether or not we will be done on time, I'd like to introduce Melinda Davis, Director of Operations for the new Residence Hall.
Thank you. So to answer the infamous question, yes, we will be done. So in speaking with our project manager for the construction of the residence halls, he basically just gave me a few upcoming things and dates that you can expect to see as targets. So they will be starting a punch list, which is basically a list of things that still need to be done, outstanding items in the building. That'll be taking place between April 10th and June 7th. The furniture installation is expected to occur June 13th to July 13th. So it'll be exciting seeing the trucks come in. Landscaping, you'll start to see that towards the end of March, around March 31st, the beginning of April. The exterior masonry, the bricks and things, that will be completed on May 31st. The certificate of occupancy, which is the most exciting, because that means that people can actually live in the building and we can take our office space there. That is expected to be July 15th. So there's a big buffer there, so no need to worry. The common and dining area furniture installation is expected to be July 15th through August 1st. And lastly, dining will be taking over their area starting August 1st so that they can get that area set up and ready for students moving in on September 2nd. So that's just a few items that are happening over the next few months. As you can see, we're moving pretty fast and we are definitely on target, so there should be no questions. Does anyone have questions about the construction that I just updated? Yes. Right, and that would also depend on the other construction that's happening on campus, and that is expected to be completed by September, but I think that would really determine when you'll be able to walk the final paths of campus. Hopefully August, but probably September. Any other questions? Okay, then I will pass it off to Keith, the Associate Director for Residential Living, who will talk about staffing.
I don't really need one of these because I'm usually pretty loud on my own. So staffing, we are in the thick of it. We had a total of 358 RA applicants throughout the cycle, which is pretty significant and a great amount. So through application review, group processes, and individual interviews, we have made that down to 120 applicants, and we will be making offers to 31 individuals this week to hire for student staff that are going to be in the halls. In terms of professional staff, we are reaching the end of our assistant director search, inviting finalists onto campus this month, and hopefully an offer made shortly thereafter. And then we have also posted online the 3 community director positions, which will be open until April 2nd, and then from there bringing them onto campus as well, and making offers hopefully around the May time, and which will finish out and round out our staffing structures for the residence halls. So that's a brief update about staffing, which is very exciting. So we're hoping to have the community directors start in July. RAs will start in August, and we will be up to full steam by August and ready to go for a September 1st move-in date. So that's exciting. And then back to Nick.
Were there any questions for Keith about staffing? Okay, so what we wanted to focus today's meeting on is 2 areas. One is how we're intersecting the academic and residential life of our students, and the other is dining. And so I've asked Mike LeBlanc to come up and talk about his space in the residence hall. We're going to have a dedicated space for tutoring and supplemental instruction and other stuff. So Mike, come on up and tell us what's going on.
Hi, everyone. I'm Director of Academic Support Programs, and I don't know how much you know about the things that we do in academic support. We have tutoring programs. We have a subject tutoring program, math tutoring program where we tutor basically all 100 and 200 level courses in subject tutoring and math tutoring, the sciences. We have a reading and writing and study strategy center that runs a series of workshops. We have writing workshops daily. We have throughout the semester workshops for oral presentations, time management strategies, test-taking strategies, all kinds of things to help students succeed in all their academic endeavors. We also have a graduate writing center as well. We're really excited about having a satellite dedicated space in the residence hall, and our plans are to utilize that space in a series of workshops that expands the work upon the work that we're doing now in a way that will, I hope, encourage students who are in the residence hall as well as students who are not residents take part in the programs that we offer. So I think it's going to be a great opportunity to offer additional services to the university community, but also to bring together the residential community and the community to make everyone feel as though we're all part of UMB. Right now, we've begun doing workshops, group workshops, and group tutoring sessions for courses that have particularly challenging homework assignments and test taking, and people who are having trouble in a lot of these courses, Bio 111, Bio 208 and 207 and 208, which is anatomy and physiology. These are courses where students tend to struggle. We're offering classroom workshops for those, and we're going to be offering those workshops and supplemental instruction in the dedicated space in the residence hall. So I think it's going to be a great way to kind of get students to see that there are different options, different places on campus where they can go and get the help that they need. And I think by kind of alternating where we hold particular workshops and particular tutoring sessions, will get students from the residence halls into the campus center and people who are generally in the campus center into the residence hall. So I think it's going to be a great opportunity for us to offer academic support, connect it to the learning communities, and help make UMB, the mission of UMB, stay true even with the residents. And I think it's going to be an awesome opportunity to have that room. The dedicated space is just something that I think gives us so much leeway. Some of the things that we can't do now that I'm hoping we'll be able to do is just have a quiet time in the room where people can come and study, or a math hour, or a math 2 hours. Speaking with some of the math faculty in the You Teach program, one of the things that they have found is really helpful to students is to actually have a place to go. And I think this being a place to go in the residence hall is going to really help our students succeed in ways that we haven't been able to do yet. So I think it's a great thing. And thanks. Any questions? Okay, thanks.
Thanks. So many of you know that we will have 3 living learning communities the first year. One will be social justice focused. Another is going to be sustainability focused. And the last one, called Beacon Explorers, will be geared towards students who come in without a declared major. And I've asked Gail Stubbs and Teresa Goyette to talk to us about the Beacon Explorers program, because so far it is the most well-developed, and it has really good demand from our incoming students. So I'd like to invite 2 of you up to talk about what's going on in that area.
Thank you, Nick. So good afternoon. So in the University Advising Center, our mission is to advise undecided students, and this is what we really enjoy doing, and we're hoping to have a really robust programming menu for the Beacon Explorers community members. But Gail, Nick, and I, along with Oceana Elia from the College of Liberal Arts, have been meeting over the past several weeks to develop this menu and to come up with some fun, creative ways that we can help students to make a very well-informed decision about their academic and career direction. So In terms of the menu, it's still in development, but here are some of the things that we're thinking of so far, is to have some self-reflection exercises. One to start out would be an intake form where students can let us know some of their initial questions and concerns and maybe some anxieties that they might have about the whole process of choosing a major, and for them to feel comfortable in letting us know too if they're feeling any pressure from anyone in their lives about this very important decision. So we first want to find out what's on their minds about the whole process of selecting a major. And then in terms of the other self-reflection exercises, we plan to offer Strengths Quest, which is an assessment that will help students to identify their top themes of talent and will help them to get a sense of how it's compatible with the academic programs that we have here at UMass. And then we'll also offer a Focus 2, which is an assessment from the Office of Career Resources. And that's essentially an interest inventory, a career-related values interest inventory. We'll also have lots of other events and activities to help students to get a better sense of the academic programs that we have available here. So we'll have them go on to the UMass Boston website. We may have some info fairs with faculty, and we'll teach students how to interact with faculty and to ask important questions about the majors that they might be interested in. And we'll also have academic advisors available for individual and group kinds of sessions.
Thank you. Thanks. So we also want to make sure that the activities are fun and engaging and help students build community with each other and get connected to the institution. And we want to give, as Teresa said, the programming menu is still in development, so we also want to make sure that students have an opportunity, once the group is kind of formed and in motion, that they can also kind of decide some of the activities that they want to make part of the learning community. We also want to communicate very well with students throughout the year with newsletters and emails, and we want to make sure that families are included. We want to make sure that students know that their families, along with the process that they go through and the faculty and staff that they work with at the university, are all part of the process of choosing a major and making sure that they have a good fit for themselves. There will be some opportunity, I think especially for the kickoff event, where families will be invited. And then also we want to just, with the communication, make sure that there are other fun ways that students know what's going on and that students can participate themselves by posting pictures of events and things like that. So as Teresa said, Oceana from the College of Liberal Arts is also part of our team, and she has already been hard at work developing a Facebook page, Instagram, Snapchat, so we have all kinds of plans for really creating a good community with the Explorers Living Learning community. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you.
All right, so I talked about the most frequent question we're getting, which is, will it be done on time? The second most frequent question we're getting is, are you charging based on the view? So do the higher floors get a bigger charge than the lower floors? The answer is no. And then the third most frequently asked questions we're getting have to do with dining. And so on that note, I'd like to invite Mike Riley up from Sodexo, who's going to talk to us about the plans for the dining program in the residence hall.
All right, hi everybody. So really excited to be here, really excited that we have finally on the UMass Boston campus a resident dining facility. It's going to be amazing. So first I want to talk about the layout. I'll talk through the meal plans and then some of the features of the facility itself. As far as the layout, the dining hall is going to occupy most of the first floor of the building. There's the live-learn area. There's a 374-seat dining area, the servery area, which is similar to something like the food court, but brand new and wide open space. And then we've got the kitchen and loading dock area, which you don't need to really know about. Around the corner from the security desk, there's a small C-store, convenience store. That's going to have a lot of grab-and-go items, some essential toiletry items that students are going to be able to purchase, as well as the late night dining options. So again, some more prepared foods for those people who may not be able to get to the dining hall by the time we close. In the building itself, we're going to be open from 7 o'clock until midnight in some form or fashion, whether that's breakfast in the dining hall or in the C-store, which is going to be open until midnight. The meal plans themselves, so unlike what we have on campus today, where you kind of pay as you go and pay for what you get, we'll have an all-you-care-to-eat type of meal plan. So you're going to be able to swipe in and then have all you care to eat, as the name implies. It'd be similar to something like the University Dining Club on the second floor of this building, where you pay one price. For the students living in the dorms, there's 2 meal plans. There's a 19 meals per week plan and a 14 meals per week plan, and each of the plan comes with a varying level of dining points associated with that. You may ask why 19 and not 21, because there's 3 meals a day, 7 days a week. On the weekends and on holidays, we would have brunch service instead of breakfast and lunch. Students typically tend to sleep in on Saturdays and Sundays and holidays, so we'd have that brunch service, which opens a little bit later. In addition to the mandatory meal plan, so anybody who's living in the dorm needs to purchase one of those 2 meal plans. In addition to those, for anybody in the community, faculty, staff, commuter students, anybody else living in the Harbor Point Peninsula, or really anybody in the community, is able to purchase a block plan, and those are going to be sold per swipes in 25 and 50 meal increments. If you're a student here who's not living in the residence hall, you would also be able to purchase one of the mandatory meal plans, or you could purchase a block plan. Some of the stuff that I'm most excited about, some of the activities that we'll be doing in the residence hall. So theme nights, we have a special zone called My Zone that's free of gluten and nut products, and that's completely isolated, so people with any kind of allergies or food sensitivities can know they can go there and not have to worry about those allergies. We also have a station that's going to be called Simple Servings, and that's going to be free of all of the 7 major allergens. So again, you don't have to worry about nuts, gluten, soy, egg, things like that in that area. We're going to have a dedicated marketing person for our campus, and is going to be working with us on things like theme nights. Harry Potter theme night is always a big one. Global Chef Series, international guest chefs, just a lot of programming and theming throughout the semester that kind of keeps it new and interesting. We realize that the students who are going to be eating with us eat their 19 meals per week, so we want to and like to do things to change it up a little bit. By the end of each semester, a student should be able to go there and not eat the same thing twice. So with a rotating menu, we're going to be able to achieve that. There's 7 individual stations throughout the food court, so you can really go to each station on any given day, any meal period, and be able to have the variety that you would expect at any restaurant or certainly anywhere in Boston. Are there any questions about the dining program or meal plans? Yes?
You talked about meal swipes, and then you talked about dining points. What's the difference?
So a meal swipe is something that would gain entry into the all-you-care-to-eat facility in the residence hall. The dining points is something that could be used on the rest of campus at any of the other 8 retail locations across campus. Any other questions? All right, perfect. Thank you.
So at our last town hall in November, and then also at our Welcome Day event in October, we got a lot of questions about parking, which we weren't able to answer now, but we are now able to talk a little bit about what's going to be happening with parking. So resident students will be able to park overnight on campus. They're still making a decision as to whether it's going to be the lot right across the street from the residence hall or the parking garage. I suspect it will have to do with the level of demand they have for overnight parking. And it will be, like parking in Boston in general, fairly expensive. It's going to be a little over $1,000 a semester to park your car overnight on campus. And so that has been worked out, other than the final detail of which lot will be open for 24-hour parking. So with that, we'd like to leave it open for audience questions. So if you have any questions about anything we talked about, or something we didn't touch on, we're happy to take those questions and do our best to answer them. Yes?
Parking for residents would be the same price as like just the semester passes?
No, it'll be more expensive for overnight parking. Yeah. Other questions? All right. Yeah, Steve.
Are you seeking like donors to give the buildings a name, or are they just going to be east and west?
Why, do you have a lot of money to donate? We have been told that until we have donors, we have to call them something generic. So right now they're East and West Hall. We're pushing for something a little bit that would enable us to do to give a little bit of more identity to each building, like maybe Atlantic Hall and Beacon Hall or something like that. But they will have generic names up until the point somebody has a lot of money they want to give to us to put their name on it. So if that applies to any of you or anyone watching on YouTube, go ahead and reach out. We'll happily take your money and slap your name on a building. Other questions? All right, those of you watching on YouTube, if you do have questions, feel free to email us. You can go to the umb.edu website, put housing in the search bar, and all the information about our program will come up, including how to contact us. So don't hesitate to reach out with your questions, and same, of course, for everybody in the audience. So with that, thank you all so much for coming today. Our next and final town hall of the year will occur sometime likely during the first week of May. And we'll be doing some more updates at that point. Until then, keep an eye out as it sounds like we're going to be able to see a lot of visible progress on the construction in the coming weeks. So thank you all very much.